Fabric quality well above standard. Power consumption halved. Noise reduction 50%. Weft insertion rate 5,000 meters per minute. The M8300 by Sulzer Ruti is a milestone in weaving machine technology. With this machine, concepts like weft insertion rate, productivity and automation will be seen in a completely new light. Even today, for instance, the weft insertion rate of the M8300 is 3 times as fast as that of a conventional air-jet weaving machine. Developed for competitive production of simple standard fabrics, this synthesis of innovation plus ecological and economic priorities is the long-awaited response to the challenge of the global market. The underlying design principle of the M8300 system is multilinear shed weaving. That is, simultaneous insertion of several weft yarns. To accomplish this, the warp is wrapped around the weaving rotor. The continuous rotation of the rotor plays a key role in shed formation. However, the complete shed forming process involves the interaction of several components. On the rotor itself, these are essentially the shed-forming modules with integrated weft insertion channels and the beat-up reeds. In combination with the curvature and movement of the rotor, the shed-forming modules open a number of sheds arranged one behind the other. By means of minimal controlled movements of the warp positioners, the warp ends are positioned such that they're either raised by the shed-forming modules to form the upper shed, or left where they are, thus forming the lower shed. Being very light, the warp positioners can be moved at high frequency. This is a key precondition for the high performance of the M8300. The weft is relayed through the shed by compressed air blown through main and relay nozzles. The crucial advantage being that faults can be quickly detected and repaired. The selvage weave is the proven standard lino. But to insert 4 weft yarns simultaneously, several technical innovations were necessary. The weft yarn is relayed into the shed. During insertion, the rotor moves the weft towards the fell. As soon as insertion of a weft yarn is complete, it's cut off by the main cutter. The weft end is now taken to the next empty shed via the weft feed and reintroduced. For minimum yarn strain, despite the high insertion rates on the M8300, the yarn draw-off technology has also been modified. The weft yarn is taken off the yarn package continuously via a controlled weft delivery unit. Following this, it's not slowed down or accelerated at any point during insertion or between insertions. Any excessively high insertion speeds likely to cause yarn strain are thus avoided. An electronic weft stop motion on the pull-in side monitors every weft inserted. To exploit the advantages of the rotary movement in terms of energy efficiency and smooth operation for beat-up as well, each row of shed-forming elements on the rotor is followed by a stop read. After the weft has been inserted, it's lifted out of the weft channel by the lower shed and guided towards the fabric by the movement of the rotor. As this is happening, the special beat-up reed catches up with the weft and beats it up simultaneously over the full weaving width. At every stage of development of the M8300 system, uncompromising modularity was a fundamental design principle. The machine comprises 4 main modules: the weaving module, the warp module with shed forming unit, the cloth winding module, and the yarn supply module. The weaving module comprises the control system, the weaving rotor, the cloth take-up, and the weft delivery unit. The yarn supply module comprises 4 weft levels, each with 4 packages. The warp module includes the selvage bobbins, the warp beam support and warp beam, the backrest roller system, the warp stop motion, and the shed forming element complete with warp positioners. Above all, the modular design allows very quick warp changes. With a special truck, a single operator can complete the change in 20 to 30 minutes. The same equipment can also be used for style changes. The cloth winding module can be located above or in front of the machine as space permits, thus allowing optimal integration of cloth handling into the weaving environment. Instead of being interconnected by mechanical transmission shafts, the modules of the M8300 are independently driven by highly dynamic servo motors. All the units in the system are coordinated via a CAN data bus. This new drive and control concept opens a window to new possibilities with regard to freely programmable motion sequences, optimization of handling, automation, extension of functions, and upgrading. Operation of the M8300 is easy, with clearly arranged controls. In addition to the control push buttons with user prompting, the machine is operated primarily via an easy-to-understand touchscreen graphic terminal. With the memory card, it's simplicity itself to transfer all settings and style data from one weaving machine to another. Via the control system interface, the machine can be integrated into higher-level systems via a network. One of the great challenges in modern mechanical engineering is to reconcile ecological and economic priorities. Yet often they only appear to be mutually exclusive. In the development of the M8300, this was taken into account in the design concept right from the start. The weaving process, with its mainly rotating masses, enabled the perceptible noise level to be reduced by 50%. In waste disposal as well, the M8300 sets new standards. The fly and false selvages are collected in filter boxes. They can be removed via an automatically controlled central vacuum system and then routed to a recycling process. This has led to a major improvement in workplace conditions. The time needed to clean the machine has also been substantially reduced. Instead of being dissipated into the weaving room, the heat generated is extracted directly at the machine, with a corresponding reduction in energy demand for air conditioning. Each machine is individually air-conditioned. Only the warp is conditioned yarn-specifically. Besides an improved room climate, this has resulted above all in a large reduction in power consumption. Compared with air-jet weaving machines, by half for the same quantity of fabric produced. "70 meters of fabric produced in just 60 minutes. With the M8300, we've created a firm basis for a strong competitive stance and convincing quality. Only you can define your goals. We can offer means of achieving them. And we'll be glad to discuss requirements that, so far, you've hardly even dreamed of. The M8300 system. An answer is usually just a beginning.